Vibha Padalkar, the MD and CEO at HDFC Life Insurance, to talk about their numbers. Vibha, hi, morning. While your VNB margins are at 24% and they have improved on a year-on-year basis, it has declined from the previous 24.3% seen in the first half. What would you say led to this weakness?
So typically Q3 is a quarter wherein all insurance companies invest so that in terms of people, in terms of training, etc., so that we are in readiness for Q4. And so the slight 0.5% that you see shorter in terms of Q3 standalone new business margins is purely because of that. Also, given the number of new partner tie-ups of ending at about 240 partner tie-ups from about 200, means that we will see revenues coming in Q4 once we've feet on street, trained the people and deployed them. Also, when you look at Q3 of last year, that was also about 21%. So even when you look at quarter to quarter, there has been a 200 basis points increase in margins. So this is a cyclical nature of the insurance industry.
Right. So what's, the share of the protection business and the non-par savings annuity business has also improved in the quarter gone by. What have been the drivers of this rising protection, and what levels do you see the share of the protection business, say, for the next 1 to 2 years?
So this is very much in line with our strategy of looking at and really innovating in the space of 3 tenets of protection, which are, like you mentioned, mortality, morbidity, as well as longevity. And we embarked on this journey 6 years ago. To your question as to where can this lead to, it will be a smooth upward curve. All our channels are doing very well on protection. So our agency channel has been selling close to now 13% on protection. Our online channel has been the leader anyway on selling on protection through online, and our bancassurance share of protection has also doubled. So no reason for us to believe that this journey will not continue, and from 16% on an APE basis, no reason to believe that we won't continue upwards on this journey, and from 28% on an unweighted basis, again for us to reach in the next few quarters to a 30% kind of a share. Your second question was on non-par savings. That too has been our stated strategy, and we've been working on this for the past 24 months. Again, here our non-par savings offering, especially in the annuity space, has grown by 4 times, and we are very, very gung-ho in this space as well. One final point is, let's see what emanates out of the budget. That too we are very hopeful, given that the finance minister has talked about rolling out a host of proposals in the NPS space. We have an NPS subsidiary, and that should be a feeder into our annuity business.
Right. What led to the slowdown in ULIPs and slower growth in par segment? What is the management's focus on in this segment in terms of improving the overall product mix?
So we drive our product mix from a bottoms-up strategy. So it is not at a company level, but it is at channel level. So it is an outcome of which channel is growing faster, which channel is focusing on a particular product innovation or a new product launch. But we have always stated that ULIP will remain sub 60%, give or take, in a particular quarter. That has always been the case. We are not comfortable with ULIPs being as high as 70–80%. And similarly, there is a place in the sun for a par offering also. It really depends on which channels are selling participating products and how are they growing.
Right. Bancassurance are a prominent feature in the insurance sector. Can you talk about your banker tie-ups? How do you see your distribution mix developing over the next 2 years?
Yes, you're right that bancassurance remains a very important contributor to all insurance companies that have these tie-ups. But also equally important is the proprietary channels, and you will see the growth in our total growth in our proprietary channels, wherein both between our agency channel and in our own direct channel, we've moved the needle in terms of contribution by 500 basis points, and so that will continue. So we remain gung-ho in both. Our new tie-ups recently that we mentioned on Vijaya Bank and Dena Bank, and having added several more smaller cooperative banks. We added about 6 more cooperative banks, regional cooperative banks, and we will grow on the back of the growth of all these partnerships.
Right. We've also seen a mixed performance and persistency front. What led to the decline in the 13-month while other duration persistency is actually improved?
So what you're referring to is on a quarter basis, but if you look at on a 9-month basis, we have made up and we are flat at 86% on the 13-month persistency and 50% on the 61st month persistency. The outlook for the 61st month persistency remains strong, and reason I'm saying that is the trends that you will see in our 49th month persistency have been on the uptick, which should result in 61st month persistency down the line increasing by at least 50 to 100 basis points.
Right. What's the overall growth strategy to improve market share, and what is the kind of ignorance or rather inorganic growth plans that the company will be interested to gain market share going forward?
So our market share has been strong at 21%. We have been consistently beating total industry market growth. And on your question on inorganic growth, we have always said that we remain interested on quality franchises, and by that I mean those that have a strong back book, those that have a good distribution tie-up, as well as good quality management, because that means that the quality of that franchise is something that we would like to take within our fold, and we continue to have an outlook wherein if someone is interested, we are happy to engage with them.
Right. Last time that we spoke, you did mention openness to look at Max Life. Has there been any progress when it comes to talks with the business?
We have not had any conversation.
Right, you were speaking about budget expectations. What are the changes that you expect for the insurance industry?
So a couple of things. One is our industry ask of having a separate carve-out under ATC for insurance, if not overall for savings, but definitely on the retirement space, because India is a hugely underpenetrated population in terms of retirement needs, and people are gradually living longer, which means that they will soon outlive their savings. So that is one area. Health could be another area wherein there's a carve-out. And the second aspect is on the National Pension Scheme, which the Finance Minister has been talking about recently. It's a host of things there, given that we are #1 in the private space. We have recently crossed 4,000 crores of assets under management with over a 25% share. That means that few things that he talked about, if they were to materialize, for example, government retirals money being able to flow into private pension managers. Second is 60% withdrawal, tax-free withdrawal of the corpus, a higher level of contribution of 14% into the retirement corpus. All of this would mean that there would be a fillip to retirement space, which is what we have been focusing on.
Right. Okay. Vibha, thanks so much for taking the time out and really telling us what went by in the quarter, and more importantly, what's the outlook going forward.